Good afternoon, everyone. As promised yesterday, today we are going to discuss about the analysis tools. As in the first lecture of Dr. Virendra Kumar, you all must have learned about the use of RGIS in research, and in the second lecture, you all must be aware about the use of open source GIS softwares, but in all the multinational companies and in all the government offices, only ArcGIS is being used. So it is a very important software nowadays, and if you want to work in a multinational company or in a government sector, then you must learn this ArcGIS. So coming to the topic, today we are going to discuss about the various ArcGIS tools which are used for the analysis purpose and which are being used by the researchers for the analysis purpose. So the today's topic is use of ArcGIS software in research. How we are using this software and which tools are being used in the research. So how we can use this ArcGIS as a tool for research and teaching. So this ArcGIS is becoming a very important tool for the researchers because there are many tools that are very easy to use and they give you an instant and the accurate results, like the buffer analysis, intersect analysis, the clip analysis, intersection, and many more, and n number of tools and analysis tools are there which you can use in your research. So the development of GIS has opened a multitude of opportunities for research and teaching across a wide variety of academic disciplines. So this ArcGIS is not only confined to the geographers or the geologists only, but it has been using for a long time in varied disciplines like botany, zoology. Archaeologists are also using this, and the history and economics and many other disciplines are there in which this ArcGIS tool is being used. So many scholars and researchers do not understand how this technology can be applied to their discipline. This is especially true of the disciplines such as humanities. Many humanities scholars lack the technical and managerial expertise to apply information technologies effectively. So we will brought together humanities researchers and scholars so they can learn how to apply GIS as a tool for the collection, management, and display of historical data. In our firm also we are providing a platform for all the peoples of science and humanities, so they can apply the knowledge of GIS, and they can use the GIS as a tool for the collection and management of their data. Coming to the tools, the first tool that we are going to discuss is the buffer analysis. So the buffer tool creates a new coverage of buffer polygons around a specific input coverage feature or any feature, like the point is here, the point this polyline. This is the line feature, but in ArcGIS we call it polyline. Then this is the polygon. So the buffer tool creates a new coverage of buffer polygons around a specific input coverage of feature. Features can be polygons, lines, point, or even a nodes can be used to create a buffer. You can use the buffer tool to identify or define an area within a specified distance around a feature. Like if you want to create a buffer around this point of 500 meters, then you can also create. It's totally up to the researcher to which type of geometry they are using, it is compatible with all three geometry like point, line and polygon. And and this can be, these all three features can be input to get the buffer around it. So a buffer in geographic information system, known as GIS, is a zone around a map feature measured in units of distance or time. A buffer is useful for proximity analysis. A buffer is an area defined by the bounding region determined by a set of points at a specified maximum distance from all nodes along segments of an object. So when buffering feature in a projected coordinate system with output to a segment, so we are using, as you all know that in GIS we are only using the uh, projected coordinate system. Here we have two types of coordinate system. One is the projected coordinate system and second is the geographic coordinate system. So we are using these two systems to define the projections, and the projections are very important to get the location of any point on the earth's surface. So if buffer contains circular arcs are projected to a different coordinate system, the location and size of the original buffers will be transformed. But the shape of the buffer will not change, causing the reprojected buffers to no longer accurately represent the area covered by the original buffer. So if you project a buffer contains the circular arcs, first use the densify tool to convert circular arc segment to a straight lines and then reproject the densified buffers. Okay. So the output feature class will have a buffer with distance field that will contain the how much distance it is from the said object. So there are many uses of buffer analysis. We can, this point may be a school and we wanted to know if there is any if this point is a hospital and we want to know that what is the population it serves, so we can create a buffer around it. Then if there is a line and line feature like roads are there and we want to know that along a road within a distance of 500 meters how many schools are there. So we can create a buffer around a road line or the canal line or the railway line. So likewise is the case with the polygon also. So we are using this. Then after creating a buffer, we can also dissolve the lines like you were seeing that these two features are the different two features, but after dissolving the middle line or between these two point polygons is being dissolved. So this is how the buffer analysis works. The second function is the clip analysis. Clip function. This function is basically used to cut out a piece of one feature class using one or more of the feature in another class as a cookie cutter. But here we are not using two feature class. Here we are using one feature class and one raster data is there. Feature class is the vector file, and this the satellite images as you are seeing is the raster image. So any image, any scanned map or the satellite image is in the raster format, and the shape file or geo database or the feature class, they are the vector data. So here what we cut, we here what we do, we just cut out a feature object. So using this tool to cut a piece of a raster image using one more feature class in another feature class as a cookie cutter. This is particularly used for creating a new raster file in which only the area that we want or the area of interest, that is whatsoever is our area of interest, that will be cut out from a main file. So again a new file is being created and that will be your clipped raster data. So here comes the clip analysis. In clip analysis is the same as we have done the clip function, but in this we use two different feature classes. One is used as an input file, another is being used as a clip feature. So the input file is being clipped by the clip coverage and the output will be the same as the clipped coverage having all the features of input layer. So the clip features can be point, line and polygon depending on the input feature type. When the input features are polygon, the clip features must also be polygons. When the input features are line, the clip features can be lines or the polygons. When clipping line features with the line features, only the coinciding lines or segments are written to the output as, and when the input features are points, the clip features can be points, line or polygons. If we want to clip these, here are one or two points are there, but if we want to clip this file from this, after clipping it, only the point file if there is there, then only in the output file only the one point will be there. So this is the clip data management. It is the same as the clip function. Here also we have input feature class over the raster data, and after clipping the input data from a clip feature class or the coverage, we will get this type of feature as the output raster data. So cuts out a portion of raster data set or the mosaic data set, or any image can be used to cut out the so any image file can be used to cut out the area of interest. So this tool allows you to extract portion of a raster data set based on a template extent, or the clip output includes any pixels that intersected the template extent to extract a portion of a feature data set. Okay. Then the clipped area is specified by a rectangular envelope using minimum and maximum xy coordinates, or by using an output extent file if the clip extent specified is not aligned with the input raster data set. This tool verifies that the proper alignment is used. This may cause the output to have a slightly different extent than specified in the tools. Okay, so an existing raster vector layer can be used as a clip extent, as we have used here. We have used a specific file to clip the feature, and again here we have used a rectangular uh, uh, data file to clip the raster data. the output can be saved in the form of BIL, BIP, BMP, BSQ, DAT, ISRI, GRID, GIF, IMG, JPG, PNG, TIFF, MRF, CRF, or any JTOB raster data sets. Okay. So this tool supports multi-dimensional data set to run the tool on each slice in the multi-dimensional data set and generate a multi-dimensional raster output, and be sure to save the output to CRF. Then the next tool is the intersecting features. So now we have the intersecting feature. So intersect creates a new feature from the common areas or the edges of any two selected features of the same geometry type. So here this should be noticed that if we are using a polygon, then both the features will be the polygon, and if we are using a line, so the geometry should be the same. So intersect creates a new features from the common areas or edges of any two selected features of the same geometry type. The new intersected feature is created, like here you can see file is being created, another feature class feature is being created using the setting specified in the chosen feature template. So you can create a new feature from the intersection of features of different layers, but the layers must be of the same geometry. If it is line, then all the files should be in the line geometry, and if you are using the polygon, then all the layers should be in the polygon layer. So the original features are maintained and a new feature is created without attribute values in the current layer. So you must have to enter the manually values for the new features. For instance, you can create a new sales territory of overlapping sales areas. The top image shows two selected areas like of the sales areas, and the bottom shows a result after using the intersect command. So a single territory of the pink color is created from the common sales areas. So if you are trying to intersect the line features, they must share a common edge. For example, two lines that cross one and another, like the X crossings of roads, or if one is the railway line and other the road, so the road should cross the railway line. So next one is the union analysis. So union analysis is used to compute a geometric union of the input features. All features and their attributes will be written to the output feature class. So here we can use two feature class, or we can also use the two shape files or two feature classes to combine together, and an output file is being created without disturbing your original feature class shape files or feature classes. So what is the usage? The usage of this union analysis is all the input feature classes and feature layers must have the polygon geometry. The allows gaps parameter can be used with all attributes and only feature ID setting on the attributes to join parameter. This allows for identification of the FID attributes for these gap features and will be -1. Okay, So attribute values from the input feature class will be copied to the output feature class. So the all the attributes of this input layer A, the input layer of blue color and input layer of yellow color, all the attributes of both the files will be together in the output file. Next is the merge data management. So in this merge data management combines multiple input data sets to a single new output data set. This tool can be combined point, line, or polygon feature classes or tables. So this merge data can be used to combine the polygon layers, feature class of polygon, point or line, or even the tables can be merged together to form a new output file which contains the data of both the files. So using this tool we can combine data sets from multiple sources into a new single output data sets. All input feature class must be of the same geometry. It should be always remember if we are operating the union or the merge. So the input layers or the input feature class should be of the same geometry. If point is used, then point can be merged together, and if we are using the polyline, then polyline will be merged together. And for the polygon we should select the file should be of the same polygon geometry. So merging feature in the same layer. This tool it will be find in the editor layer. In the editor tool, there is a function of merging the feature class in the same layer, or in the same feature class, or in the same shapefile. So this merging features cannot be used like to merge the one feature from one shapefile to the another feature of another shapefile. This tool will be used in the same shapefile or in the same feature class. So this is code 6. Just write it down and fill this in the feedback form. So this is dissolve data management. So dissolve data management aggregates features based on specified attributes. So there may be a number of attributes. So like here in the example you see some like if it is a country, and country is divided into many states, and states are further divided into districts. Like this green color is one district, blue color is another district, and purple color is another state, and yellow is another state, and green is in another state. And in the state some lines are there, and these lines represent the districts. So if we want a country with only the state boundaries, so we will merge these or simply dissolve these inner lines which represent the district, and we will get the output country file with state boundaries only, dissolving the small feature class. So this by using this tool can be used to combine data sets. So this tool is used to the attributes of the features that become aggregated by dissolve can be summarized or described using a variety of statistics. like here we have used the district, another we can use if we want to dissolve some, if we are preparing some map and it is having a lots of boundaries which are like you have the mm, shapefile of water bodies and you don't want the water bodies of less than 1 hectare of area, so you can dissolve, you can select the area of um, area from the area field less than 1 hectare of features, area of features, and you can just dissolve that features. So here, as promised yesterday, so how to create a shapefile. So what is a shapefile? A shapefile is a simple non-topographical format for storing the geometric location and attribute information of a geographic feature. The geographic features in shapefile can be represented by points, polylines, or polygons. So point is a single node feature, then two or more nodes can be used to create a line, polyline, and more than two nodes can be used, or vertex can be used to create a polygon. So just go to the catalog, and in the catalog just right click any folder in which you want to create your shapefile. Just right clicking, after right clicking new button, and after new this type of window will open, and in this just click the shapefile. Then this type of window will open, and here whatever you are seeing with the blue highlight, here you can give your name. Then you can select a geometry from here, point, polygon, or polyline. Then go to the edit to give the coordinates. So here I have given WGS 1984 UTM zone 44. So here just click OK, and we have got our projected coordinate system over here, WGS 1984 UTM zone 44, and just click OK. Likewise, and the new point layer will be opened here in the table of content. And when you want to edit, you want to add some features, you just have to click this editor button. In the same manner, a polyline geometry can also be created, and then the polygon can also be created. So all our point, line, polygon layers are added in the table of content. Then go to the editor, just click the editor button with your left click, and after clicking it, just start editing over here from here, and you can start making your features. Yeah, you can also change the symbols, like the color, or the whatever you want to give the symbol to it. So this is how you can create your point, line, and features on it. Then this is simply how to create a buffer analysis. Just using this tool we can create a buffer. I have given the input as a point and output is there. Here you can give the values, like here I have given 1000 kilometers, you can give 100 meters, 200 meters, or whatever value you want to give. So after creating the file, all three files in feature class of point, polyline, and polygon, this type of feature we can get. So along with the road, along with the this schools, or this, they may be hospitals or whatever features you are using, along it this point layer and along this polyline feature, I created a buffer of 500 meters. And so this is how you can create the buffer along your point line or polygon. And other analysis tools can also be used using and can be used in your research, and they are very easy to use. And thank you participants. In this video I have shared all four codes that I promised yesterday. In the yesterday video also I have shared four codes, and in this video also I have shared all other last four codes. Just fill these codes, and the participants who are getting less than 60 percent marks will not be getting any certificates for the participation. So watch the whole video, and just subscribe the channel, because all the information about the new seminars or e-conference or the workshops, all the workshops are free. And the seminars or the e-conferences, e-seminars or e-workshops related to QGIS, ArcGIS, ADAS, Ilvis, and other QGIS, and other many more softwares are being informed through this YouTube channel, and also through the Telegram channel. So stay on the Telegram channel also, and subscribe this YouTube channel to get the information of all the upcoming free workshops on ArcGIS, QGIS, and advance. We are going to organize a advance ArcGIS workshop also, in which we are going to tell you about how to create, and our demonstration will be shown using the ArcGIS software. Thank you so much participants, thank you so much for your patience, and kindly fill the feedback form, because without filling up the feedback form we are not able to provide you a certificate. Again, thank you so much, have a good day, stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you.